Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. Hey everyone, thanks for being tuned in to KPOV 88.9 FM, your high desert community radio in Bend, Oregon. This is the Cosmic Community. Stacey Dredd, your galactic ambassador here. I just did not want that Om to end. That was a song from our boys Indubious, cover of Sledgehammer. Love that. Love the energy taking us into the show today. I hope you're having a good one. This is the Cosmic Community, where we talk about the astrology of the week, planetary and lunar energies, how they may be felt in our day to day, how we may be able to work with the energies to be in more harmony with the universe and create a more benevolent life for all. So, not too bad for me, a good intention to throw out into the world, and I appreciate you being here to receive these messages. You can always access the archive of this program at kpov.org on the Cosmic Community show page. You can also access the archive at my YouTube channel. That is the Cosmic Community Astrology on YouTube. Also have a Facebook page. You can follow the Cosmic Community Astrology. And thank you so much for your support of KPOV and the community. So this week is busy in the astrology. It's a week of more of a week of completions. We have and the sun coming into a conjunction with Saturn. And also we have the sun moving into Pisces, which means that we're switching seasons. We're moving from Aquarius season to Pisces season. We'll talk about sort of the themes of Pisces and what kinds of energies we're going to be working with, through what filter we're going to be seeing the world for the next month while the sun is in Pisces. And then we've got the new moon in Pisces. We've had this really interesting pattern lately where the new moons have been taking place right at the top of the season. So we have February 18th, the sun moving into Pisces. And then on the 19th, we have the sun and the moon coming into that conjunction within the sign of Pisces, which means that we have the new moon for the month. And so that is happening within 24 hours of the beginning of the season, really allowing us an opportunity to start super fresh. Pisces is definitely a sign of completion. It's the 12th sign of the zodiac. So as soon as we make it through Pisces, we hit those fresh starts. But for now, we're working within these completion cycles. We are, finishing up, coming to the end of the zodiac, the 12th sign of the zodiac, where completion and endings are just natural. They're just the way that the wheel works, the wheel of astrology. And of course, you have to complete one sign before you make it into the next sign. So we've been working with the energies of Aquarius. We have another 4 or 5 days with this Aquarius energy. The sun, of course, been moving through the sign of Aquarius, which makes it Aquarius season. So Aquarius represents people. It represents groups of people, organizations, people gathering, like-minded folks, tribes of people with like minds, gathering together. It's also a very social energy. Aquarius is an air sign. So we're talking about air. We're talking about what it takes to talk, right? It takes air to talk. So the air signs are naturally more talkative and more social in general. And also Aquarius represents awakenings and freedom and revolution and change. And so when we are dealing with so much Aquarius energy, because we've also had Saturn in the sign of Aquarius as the sun's been moving through. Saturn is a very serious energy. It brings with it the the ambition to really, ambition, I guess. It's like, it's serious. It's ambitious. Saturn is about responsibilities and fulfilling our responsibilities. So it naturally kind of propels you, gives you that ambition, the desire to like fulfill your responsibilities, or not. If we have Saturn in a challenging phase, it can sometimes be a little more challenging as Saturn's energy is challenged to find the desire to be responsible, or to find the energy to be fulfilling our responsibilities and taking care of business. Saturn is a taking care of business energy. Saturn loves to ask questions and get answers, and to create the framework, create sort of the boundaries, the rule structures around any given situation or relationship or whatever it's been working with. And with Saturn moving through the sign of Aquarius, we've been working with groups of people, organizations, freedom, awakenings, changes, groups of people coming together asking for change. So Saturn entered the sign of Aquarius. Saturn spends about 2 to 2.5 years in a sign. So if you can kind of think back over the last 2 to 2.5 years, sort of the things that you've been grappling with in sorts of in your life, but also in relationships and with on a societal level, we can kind of see these themes playing out. Large groups of like-minded people coming together and asking for change, trying to push for freedom, trying to find some type of awakening, right? And trying to awaken the people. But also, it's sure been about, to me, framework and groundwork, right? Like kind of coming back to ground zero, if you will, and saying, what are the rule structures that we need? I know people don't like rules, but like rules are so important, like especially when you're working with groups of people and you're trying to get things done. There has to be, I understand, I know, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm all about my own personal freedom and saying and doing and being whatever and whoever I want. But there are still some needs for structure and for groundwork. And it's almost like the homing devices, that we use. So we've been out, causing a revolution, or we've been inside in our own personal awakening, but yet we still need these grounding points, right? These cornerstones to come to. And so Saturn provides these cornerstones over the last 2 to 2.5 years. Groups of people, organizations working with themes of change and freedom and awakening have been also, they've been charged with the need to also lay the groundwork, to lay some structure, to be aware that things maybe just can't go totally crazy, right? There needs to be some type of method to the madness. That is a little phrase that a teacher of mine used to say in my U.S. history class, of all things. Mr. Smythe at David Douglas High School, he would say, he'd be going off on a lesson, talking about whatever, I wasn't very good at history, sorry. He'd be talking about history and, he'd be going off about the story, and then he'd stop and he'd kind of go, but wait, there is a method to my madness here, right? And so that's kind of the same thing we're talking about being out in this really creative, energetic phase of change and revolution and awakening, but then also knowing when we come back to the method, right? When we release the madness and come back to the method a little bit. So, really interesting energy that we're working with this week, with the sun coming into a conjunction with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. This is going to highlight more of the themes of which I was just speaking. We have Saturn in not a very comfortable place. Saturn doesn't really like the sign of Aquarius too much, but does a lot of work there. Aquarius is the sign of freedom and change, but Aquarius is known to be sort of cold, like detached from their emotions a little bit. The ability to be detached from emotions and to, work with it, to do the work. That's an Aquarius thing. So Aquarius is an interesting energy. It's all about freedom and self-expression, but being a planet that is actually ruled by the sun, ruled by the planet of Uranus, which is the planet of change, the planet of revolution. It represents everything that Aquarius represents, but Uranus is only the modern ruler of the sign of Aquarius. Keep in mind that most of the history of astrology has taken place without telescopes. So just within the last couple 100 years have we found the rest of the solar system that we know about, including the planet of Uranus, which got to be Aquarius's ruling planet, but originally Saturn was the ruling sign. So Saturn and the sign of Aquarius have a really interesting relationship, and we've been working in it. This is what it feels like to work with Saturn in Aquarius the last 2 to 2.5 years. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4s all over my clocks here. This is Stacey Dredd, your galactic ambassador in the cosmic community, and we're talking the astrology of the times. I like to break down the week and let people know, kind of the events and the hot days, the hot tickets to look for the week. But I also talk about a lot of overarching energies too. So really try and mix it all up. So on February 16th, we have that conjunction of the Sun and Saturn. Oh my goodness, my water bottle made a squeaky noise. I needed a little bit of water. And we call that a conjunction between Sun and Saturn because the Sun is moving quicker, moves over the top of Saturn. So we always mention the quicker moving planet first and within conjunctions. And that just means that in the wheel of the, in the astrological wheel, that the two planets are going to come and basically cross over each other at the same sign of the zodiac. And so this is happening at the very end of Aquarius. This is happening at, let me just see, 28 degrees of of Aquarius, 28 degrees. The Sun and Saturn will be there at the end of Aquarius. And what does this mean? This is a hot ticket day, as I just mentioned. We've got the Sun, which is big, expressive energy. The Sun always represents sort of the filter of which we are seeing the world through. As the Sun moves through the 12 different astrological signs, it provides just a little different filter for each season, that we work with. And the Sun in Aquarius wants freedom. It wants awakenings. It wants, it's moving through the sign of change. So it's working for change and progress, and it's a very future oriented sign. Aquarius is. Aquarius also rules technology. We've seen a lot of information and stuff come out about AI over the last month. I can't not mention that because a lot of the astrologers have been mentioning how during this last month of all this really hot Aquarius energy that we've seen some really super futuristic things come out, like all of this development of the AI. And so you have, future oriented mindset here. And as the Sun comes into a conjunction with Saturn, I mentioned Saturn can be a bit of it's kind of like the fun police in a way. Saturn, wants to make sure that you're like following all the rules and taking care of all your responsibilities and all of those things, which is not really usually the priority for Aquarius and Aquarius energy. The priority there is much different. And so this could be a little bit of a push-pull day. I can see it feeling a bit like a brick wall. It could be like a really cold energy, just like reality check. Whenever planets come into a conjunction with Saturn is the great reality check in the sky. So it's, a beautiful thing to look into the future and to dream. And Aquarius is all about hopes and dreams and plans for the future and progress and, taking things into the future. Saturn is about the past. Saturn is about dealing with ideals from the past, maybe even our own ideals, parts of ourselves, that have been changing over the past 2 to 2.5 years. We've been breaking out and having awakenings within parts of ourselves, and as the sun comes into a conjunction with Saturn later this week, it could feel like all that work was for nothing, but do not think that, because this is something that happens once a year. Once a year, the sun comes into a conjunction with Saturn, and we get this kind of reality check, but it's really good. As we mentioned, it's good to have big dreams and projects and creativity, but there definitely needs to be like a grounding point, right? Some way to make it all feel a little more physical and maybe a little less mental. So I don't know if that's making sense to anybody, but I am personally watching this Sun-Saturn conjunction this week. It's the end of a karmic cycle. We've got one new cycle starting this week and one ending, and that is the year that it takes for the sun to come back around and reach Saturn. And so here we are, in a time where we can have a completion point and start some type of new cycle within the realms of what the sun and Saturn can represent as a pair. What else? I think that's enough on that. So on the 18th of February, we have the beginnings of Pisces season. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday to all of those early season February born Pisces folks out there. Pisces energy is so beautiful. It is so soft. It is so dreamy. We were just talking about that dream state, and Pisces energy is very much that dream state. On the new moon, on the 19th, we will have Venus, Neptune, the sun, and the moon all in the sign of Pisces. This is going to be a soft, sensitive weekend. Pisces is a water sign. We could feel the need to bathe or to cleanse our home. Or I don't know about you, but I have already started my spring cleaning, and Pisces season comes in, and it's like, yep, time to clean it up and to let the ocean of let myself go, and really cleanse the altar. Too is a good time to clean the altar off and to start fresh there. On the day of this new moon in Pisces, it's at 1 degree of Pisces, this new moon. Such a beautiful, fresh, new start for this season that we have an opportunity to take advantage of here. As new moons, they represent new beginnings. They represent the opportunity to create some intentions for the next month for Pisces season. How are you to use this energy? Knowing that the next month is really colored by really beautiful, soft, compassionate, empathetic, caring, Piscean energy. How are you to use that? Are we staying soft? Are we staying soft to this? Because Pisces energy only comes around like this, once a year. So we really got to use it. We've got Neptune in Pisces, which is the ruling planet, which means that Pisces seasons and Pisces anything right now is super extra juicy because we have the ruling planet at home. We also this week have a conjunction with the planet of Venus and Neptune. Venus is the planet of love. Neptune is the planet of dreams and compassion and rules the sign of Pisces. So it could definitely feel like an extra passionate, extra sensitive, extra creative. Pisces energy is super creative. This is, Pisces represents music and arts, especially music and sound, but fine arts. And with Venus there, Venus is, rules the arts too. She's the planetary ruler of the arts and all those beautiful things in life. And so this week seems like, this weekend, when all of this energy is really there, it seems like such a good opportunity to just kind of revel in this, because Venus is going to be moving on actually soon after the new moon on Sunday. So Sunday, I feel like, is going to be like Saturday and Sunday are going to be these really juicy, sensitive, kind of sexy, passionate, creative, artsy, like really good weekend to paint, make music, be out in nature. Nature is a big deal for Pisceans. They love nature. Watch out. There are some lower expression Pisces energies out there, like addiction, drug and alcohol use associated with Pisces. So, take care of yourself in the situation. Make sure that you aren't, going over the top, overdoing anything that is going to put you in an overly sensitive situation and make things not go the way that you'd like them to, or other people, under influence or whatever. And it's like, it's getting edgy. It's, whatever, like, know that you can pull yourself out of situations and implant yourself into other situations, because you indeed are the ruler of your own existence here. And I kind of feel like there might be a little bit with this Saturn reality check also with this Pisces new moon. It could be intense for people who are exhibiting some of those lower vibration Piscean energies. Also, victimization. That is a big one with Pisces. Playing the victim. That is something that all of us have done, and very, very much, innocently, I'm sure, we all do the best we can with what we have available to us. I truly do believe that. So do the best you can with what you have available to you. Stay present, stay in it, find the creativity, find the beauty, but also know that there's the ground is somewhere, right? We're not floating up in our upper consciousness without any ground down there. So Saturn is available to us this week to ground us a little bit if we're feeling a little extra, juicy hopes and dreams, like really kind of creatively floating around. Really beautiful place to be. So yeah, totally live it up. That's, I guess, the report for the week. I'll be back for the Cosmic Community Tuesdays at 4:30. Also, you can access the archive of this program at kpov.org on the Cosmic Community show page, my YouTube channel, the Cosmic Community Astrology, and a rebroadcast of this program Saturday at 9 a.m. here on KPOV. Thank you so much for listening and for being interested in helping the energies of the world and creating a more benevolent life for all. Have a good week. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.